Well, we actually met at a place called the Atrium in Atlanta. They had like this pool party slash foam party. So long story short, there was a group of girls in the pool and she happened to be one of them. And then it just kind of happened from there.
I guess it was kind of what he was saying, like it just kind of kept happening. It's kind of like one of those like friendships where you say, well, I don't have to talk to one of my friends for like 2 years, and then if I see him or talk to him again, it's like nothing. It's like you hit the play button again, like nothing ever like changed. And like for years, like this was maybe 2008, 2009.
Yeah, it was
like,
a long time.
It was a long time ago, but it was something that was progressively, I think, already setting up to be what it was when it did happen.
At that point in time, her son was sick, and she was going through that, and I would just randomly just kind of check in just to see how things were going. Do we need to pray together? I pray for your son. Just generally concerned about what was going on with her.
I also think at that point it was still like the friendship part of it. Like it never, because I was going through so much at the time, it was never like, okay, I'm interested in him. Like, and then trying to get away from the relationship I was in. It was just like always, like in the back of my mind, I know if I need to talk to somebody, I can call Keith. Like that was how it always was.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The moment for me was I invited her to my mom's house. And as a guy, you invite them to your parents' house. It's a serious thing. But it was just like a friend thing. And like she just clicked with my mom. Like they were like best friends from day one. And from that, they just been best friends since then. I was like, wow, I have to keep her. And then I came around her family and it was like cool. And they were looking at me like, okay, he's gonna be another one of them jerks, okay. And I wasn't. Everybody, it was cool. So it just kind of was a natural thing,
Yeah.
And there was a point in time where calling her my girlfriend didn't feel right anymore. It was like, I have to do something about that. But I was planning a proposal while I was planning her birthday party. It was at the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, and I always like to do things so over the top, like, because she deserves it. She deserves literally everything. Like all of her family, all of her friends, all of my friends are there, and it's like she still thinks it's just a birthday party. She's so clueless.
The guitarist was playing. I was ready to cry. He started crying, and then I'm looking at everybody else, and they're just like, like I looked off into them, and they were like, yeah, it's happening, it's happening.
There was a point in time of the relationship, especially showed me that she wasn't going anywhere. Was a point in time like I had a child for like 9 years, and to come to find out that the child wasn't biologically mine. Got the paper in the mail because of course you had to take this test, and it basically said the child is not yours with 0% chance or something like that. And it was horrible. Gosh, it was so bad. But she was still there,
Yeah. Well, I feel like by that time, like dealing with that, he had already been through some things with me. And he mentioned before, I have a son, and his name's Kyle, and he passed away when he was 17 and a half months old. And to know that he was strong enough to go through my situation with me, it's like, okay, yeah, this is knowing who I am, I can like stand by him and go through this with him. So in utero, they told me we can see something in his brain, and they told me that he has a blockage in his 4th ventricle, but 6 days old he had a procedure on his brain, which was really hard for me. Like you say, you're gonna cut him? Like he was just born. Like he was just born, and they had to do the shunt, and they got it in, and they said everything was like perfect. He was born in September, so at the end of the year, around Christmas time, we spent our first Christmas in the hospital because he started to have something called infantile spasms, so it's like seizures. So just trying out different medicines, and like a lot of them would just make him sleepy and just keep him sleeping all day. And I'm like, he's my baby, and I can't like interact with him. He's sleeping all day. just to keep the seizures from happening. He kind of lost like some motor skills and put him behind his milestone. So crawling, I never saw Kyle crawl. He never walks. So with a lot of physical therapy to get his muscles stronger, because that's what the seizures had done. He, I don't know where, contracted something called RSV. It just got really bad. He got really sick. That day, his fever got up so high, he was just really lethargic. I'm like, okay, something's wrong. So we called the ambulance and they came and they, we went there, and then I just never would have realized we weren't gonna come home together. They had to put him on something called an oscillator. It's like a stronger respirator, but this one made noise. And it kind of like made his body like shake a little bit, like not hard like a seizure, but like you can see like vibration. And like they sedated him like all the way under just to have him on that. And so I asked him, what do you consider to be life support? And he said, basically anytime we have to intervene to keep someone, living. I'm like, so what would we do next? If you take him off the oscillator, what happens? He's like, basically, if you take him off, he's gonna pass away. He said that, and I came to like a place of peace. I'm like, okay, I can't watch Kyle go through this anymore. So I talked to my mom and all that. I had to sign paperwork for them to take him off, and they took him off, and it just happened because he had just gotten so sick. He couldn't breathe on his own anymore. Oscillator, you can't touch the patient. So it's been days where I haven't been able to touch him, and it was a really calming moment because I was able to finally hold him. But I watched him, like his chest was rising, but I watched him like take his last breath while I was holding him, and it was really, really hard. Maybe not too long after he passed away, and I had just left my grief therapy, and it was a really cool day. Like everything, like I was in a good mood and everything was flowing. So I was walking down the sidewalk towards the park, and I just kind of felt like this. It was like a breeze, like over my, but it was over my shoulder, like where to the point like it made like a whistle. It was a faint voice, but it sounded like I heard mommy, and I was like, hold on, like am I crazy? And I was looking around, and I looked down, and I was standing over his name in the concrete. It said Kyle in the concrete. So people like, it's on my Instagram, like I'm living and loving, and it's for him, because I'm sure that's what he would want to see me doing.
And I always say, that, storms, they always come to pass. They don't come to last forever, and during those rocky, stormy times, you become better at what you're doing because you have the challenges. You have to go through the challenges. If everything's all perfect, because people see our pictures and it's, oh my God, I have goals. I will be like you guys. But they don't understand, like, to make it perfect, there's a lot of other mechanics that go with that paint the perfect picture, and we've gone through, and we'll still have things. We'll always have things, but we've become better and stronger. Now we attack them as a team.